most famous physical therapist on the internet.
Hi, folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
Together, we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course,
We're
Bob.
supposed to talk to the camera.
Oh, that's right. You read that comment.
Yes, I did. We're going to talk about today is indoor cycling with a trainer. Best beginner setup demo for excellent cardio and comfort.
Yeah.
So Brad set my bike up, and thank God you did.
Yeah.
Because I had some problems, and we'll talk about them as we
Right.
move
If you're
along.
an indoor want to do some indoor cycling on a trainer, there's some things you need to know to make sure it's safe. It's going to not be hard on your knees, and you have a good experience.
By the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com. Go to the giveaway section. We're not giving anything away today, but starting tomorrow, we'll begin something away.
Oh, this is a Saturday.
Yeah, this is a Saturday. I think we're giving away a mattress.
Oh, really?
Go to bobandbrad.com and check it out. Go to the giveaway, or it'll be pinned to the top of the page on Facebook. Go to Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok if you want a 60-second version of our program. And we do have a podcast now, too.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Brad.
So,
we're
Bob,
bringing somebody in today, right?
Yeah, we're actually, Liz is back running the camera, so that's real nice. And Mike, he does our camera. He fills in. He does editing. He's
part of the Bob and Brad crew.
He's a corner post to our program. There's no
corner
doubt.
post.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So let's get on with the program before he gets a fat head.
Yeah.
So, indoor cycling, it's wintertime, it's January 5th. You're thinking about that training. You like to bicycle outside, but you've never done indoor bicycling.
Sure.
This is going to be very critical for you. I got 7 steps to get through, and it's going to be very helpful. So, Bob, you're going to have to...
Yeah, I'll move out of the way here now. Do you want me over here? Or do you...
Well, wherever you want, just out of the way. So you're going to need a trainer. Get a good one. You don't have to spend $500 on, although you could if you want, but you can get a basic one like this is my old one, actually. It's a Cyclops. It's a nice trainer.
That's what I have, too.
Yep, Bob has one.
Real easy.
Yep, there's 3 types you can choose from. There's the air trainer. The resistance is made with air. They're kind of noisy, but they're cheaper. There's a magnetic, and they're quieter, and they're mid-range, and then the oil resistance, which this one is. They're more quiet. This has a little fan on it, so it's a little noise with it. And typically, the more you spend, the quieter it is, the smoother it is.
Sure.
So I'm assuming you can decide with that by online or talking at your bike shop with the people who know all about those things. So here what we have, this is a type that it goes on a cam, so to speak, and it tightens into the skier of the back wheel. It's important that you get the distance from here to here adjusted properly. If I've already done it, this loosens up and you just rotate it and it brings this distance. So when you get the skier in there in the right location, it locks down tight so you don't tip over. Now, this is a really important thing. If you do not do this right, I found out the hard way, although I did it with poor advice from my bike mechanic. This is the skewer from my bike. Actually, Mike's is the same one. If you have this type of skier that looks like that versus this, make sure you get one of these. You can go buy one at your bike shop. Usually when you buy these, one of these comes with it. Take the skier out of the bike and put this in. You have to be a little bit mechanically inclined, not too much. These fit in here very nicely, which eliminates the potential for falling over. I fell over on my bike when I was riding without any indication I was going to fall because I had this skier in there. I was told it was going to hold. Indoors.
Sure.
Which is worse than falling outdoors in my mind, unless you're going fast. But luckily I fell into the wall as opposed to down onto the floor. I could have ruined my back tire. I could have ruined my head, my body. So a
skewer is basically the axle.
The axle, exactly right, Bob. And they're on a cam lock.
Yeah, mine came with one. It had the correct one.
Right, exactly. So I would suggest using it. Usually on a better bike, especially, these are plastic or they're carbon fiber, something that aluminum, something that looks nice, and these will scratch it up.
Sure.
So aesthetically, it's not very nice. So I wanted to spend some time on it because it is really critical. Now, we're going to bring Mike in. Now, if you bought a used bike and you don't know anything about adjusting the height of the seat, which is really critical to save your knees and or your comfort level, make sure you pay attention to this. If you bought one at a bike shop, sometimes they will spend the time, put you on a trainer, and make the adjustments for you. So I'm assuming you didn't do that, and let's carry on.
Yeah.
Now, Mike bought a used bike. Now, the bike he bought, he got one heck of a deal. He got
Yes,
a
I
real racing bike.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is,
Yeah, look at that
it's
seat.
actually a time trial bike, technically. This
Try to
is
go the
made
other way around.
strictly for speed. One person, you can't, it's made so you cannot draft people. It's not safe. I'm going to, whatever, you paid like $450. It's like a $3,000 bike, carbon fiber.
Yep.
Okay, you can do this by yourself, but it's a lot easier with two people. So I got the skewers lined up, and I'm gonna push it down, and it locks in snug. You have to get it snug. Feel comfortable with it.
I actually had to take a hammer to loosen mine.
We might have a little too tight.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. I was like,
Yeah, if you need a hammer, that is probably too tight.
yeah.
So get it in here. Now the next thing you want to do is get your bike reasonably level. You can buy one of these. This has 3 different levels on it. You don't have to. You can just use boards, books, something to raise it. And there. I'm going to go through some technical stuff here. I'm going to let you know if it's necessary or not. I like to put a level if this bar is horizontal like this one is, and I'm level. You don't have to do that. If you're a beginner, you just want to get generally set up. Eyeballing it is okay.
So if you went to have this underneath there, it wouldn't have been level.
No, I would have to put a book or
Sure.
something under there. And if you're riding, you're probably watching TV or computer or something. And usually it's up higher, the screen is, so you
Sure.
want to elevate it so you don't get a sore neck when
Sure.
you're watching the TV. So get to that point. All right, now Mike has flats. Now, if you're a beginner, there's a good chance you're going to use flats as opposed to the clipless pedals where you actually have a special shoe and it clips right in. The concepts of how we set it up are the same, just that with clipless pedals, you actually lock in, which even makes it, if you haven't used clipless pedals, you're probably going to fall getting on and off the bike a couple times. But in this case, flats, we're going to ignore that.
You mean fall outdoors?
And possibly indoors.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when you get off,
They clip
you have
you
to
in.
rotate your foot to unlock them. And if you forget to do that because you're tired or you're watching
Ah.
the TV and you get off,
That'll be a bad fall.
yeah, it's not fun. It's big embarrassing if you're outside in front of a group of people. The biggest thing is it's embarrassing because you usually do it when you're slow or stopped getting on or off of the bike or something.
you're
Yeah,
slow.
this is why I bought. We put the flats on because I've never used a road bike before. I have a
Sure.
specialized, like you, kind of a cross trainer, and just getting the balance of this compared to my other bike was way different.
Wow.
Like it took me a while, and then it took me like 4 or 5 rides till I wanted to use the forearms. So I just
Sure.
went slow, and I'm slowly building up to you
Yeah.
know.
Okay, why don't you hop on once,
Sure.
Mike? So you're going to find out, and I think Bob and both Mike,
Right.
I realize this raises your bike up. So it's going to be harder to get on and off your bike set up in a trainer. You could take a stool and do that. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah, I
that.
actually have a treadmill right next to it. I
Step
step on
up
the
on that.
treadmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make it easy. So the contact surface, can you rotate your foot this way? There. Is right here, right at your metatarsal phalange joints here. Okay, not in the arch. A lot of people think if you're riding flats, you put that in the arch of your foot. You do not slide it back, and not at the tip of your foot. Get that, the big toe, that ball of the big toe is right over the axle, and that's where you want. We're going to go to, now just spin a little bit, Mike. Get used to it.
No, you have no resistance on it yet.
Yeah, now I'm going to add a little resistance. Keep pedaling. So on this particular one, you rotate and crank until you get some resistance.
And then
There we
and
go.
then you flip it up, or
This one has a
oh,
thumb screw, basically.
You know
There
what
are some that you flip there on a cam.
yeah, that's what I have a flip, and I forget it every time. All of a sudden I get off.
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking that's not good for the tire. With pressure on it like that.
Yeah, it could be worse things.
Yeah.
So then you just pedal, and then when you feel comfortable on the seat, where your home base is, I'm going to call that, stop at 12 or 6 o'clock right here.
Yeah.
So 12 o'clock here, 3 here, and 6 here in regards to the axle position. So come right about there. Your foot should not be pointed like this or down. It should be level. You know, you could take a level, but you just eyeball it. Now, his knee at this point should be between 10 and 14 degrees, you know, and you don't have to have a goniometer.
But just a slight bend.
Yeah,
basically.
this has been too much because right now we're at about between 35 and 40.
Wow. I
So,
wouldn't have guessed
yeah,
that was that
so
much.
this seat would have to be moved up about a half of an inch or so. Now, actually, before the video, we tried to adjust this seat. It's a used bike. The seat is actually locked in. It's a carbon fiber bike. I am not going to try to adjust that and be responsible for breaking it because it's going to
Sure.
cost hundreds of dollars to replace that if it's not done with the proper equipment. Okay, so once you get your seat to the right height.
Height.
I had another comment. An English major was
All
watching and
right.
she was
I've been
correcting
trying
me.
to correct my wife. She's been doing it.
All right, now, so you get the height adjusted properly. This is the first step. Then you got to get the seat to and fro, moving it forward and backwards. And we're going to go to 3 o'clock position. Again, the foot is level to the floor. Now, the way I was taught this from a professional. They said take a plumb bob, go over the kneecap, the patella, and drop it down so we know what vertical is. And the line, and we're not going to get really particular here, should be at the front of the foot, okay? And this is pretty close. The big thing about this is you can easily change this if you slide your bottom forward or backwards.
Sure. You
And-
really don't want the knee going beyond the foot, right?
Right,
I mean,
you don't
show,
want it
show a wrong, Mike.
Yeah, slide, there you go.
Yeah.
So now we've got inches, which is clearly too much.
Right.
And-
You're putting too much pressure on the knee.
Yeah, exactly. You don't go, your speed's going to be better too if you're adjusted properly. Your knees feel better. Everything's better about it. So why don't you hop off once?
So used a plumb bob.
Yeah, you can just use a string and put on
You don't
any
get my
kind of
joke.
weight on it.
You didn't get my joke.
Plumb.
You're using a plumb
I got it.
bob.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
It is to laugh.
Yeah.
All right. Your seats typically, some people may have a seat if it's a lower end bike that you cannot move the seat forward and backwards and then you're stuck where
Does
you
it
are.
tilt too, Brad?
Yeah, and that's another thing. The seat, if you put a level on here, you should be pretty close to level. This one's tilted down a little bit.
And that's what mine was.
Yeah, if it's tilted too much and you feel like you're sliding
That's what I
forward all
felt
the
like.
time,
Yes.
you've got to rotate the seat and get in here with some wrenches and make some adjustments on there. I actually took me 3 seats to get the seat was comfortable for me. Hopefully,
that does not look a comfortable seat.
This is better than the original one. This
Oh,
is more
really?
padded. The other one is harder yet that I
Oh
have.
wow.
the big thing about seats is get yourself a pair of biking shorts, the spandex ones,
right, I
because
did.
that is a big difference.
Yeah.
If you don't like spandex shorts, you're a little older like me, and you think I'm not wearing that sissy stuff. That really helps on a bike.
Yeah, it does.
It keeps you getting chaffed inside your thighs. So this should be adjusted. It's pretty close. It could be well enough. You can't see this. This has got, here, let's tip this over. This seat particularly for guys, right here, there's a slot in between, and that's for the prostate so you don't get pressure on there,
Sure.
which can save you some grief and pain. Not necessary. It's an individual thing. So that's called the saddle. The saddle, if you're a beginner, you'll figure this out over time. I'm just going to give you some cues. All right.
That seat is kind of hard to adjust, Brad.
This
when
way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I watched you, I was like, I couldn't have done
Yeah. All this stuff takes a little bit of
that.
mechanical
knowledge.
and experience and, patience.
It doesn't, you can't figure it out very easy.
Yeah, bike mechanics, particularly, that I can do. I cannot adjust the
Right,
the
that's
cables very well. Next thing is, so you get the up and down, the forward and backwards on the seat, the tilt of the seat so it all feels good. You're not going to do this in 10 minutes.
Right.
You got to take your time. If you're going to ride all winter, get it done right. Then the height of the handlebars. Again, this is a aero bar setup. This is made for time trial. This is a high-end bike. You probably are going to have either regular handlebars or the drops. It looks like the Ram handlebar. I used to call it when I was a kid. But the higher the handlebars, the easier it's going to be on your back. Speaking from a therapist's mind.
Yeah.
From a bike rider, the lower you are, the less resistance, the faster you're going to be. If you're a beginner, bring them up, get comfortable. There's no resistance inside anyways, air resistance. And if you know, as you get more comfortable with riding, you want to get faster, drop them down, get into that uncomfortable back-breaking position.
Right.
So that's the primary thing that I look for in the handlebar height. All right, hop on there again, Mike. Why don't you start pedaling a little bit?
Okay.
There you go.
So I got my handlebars up so high that everybody thinks I look like Pee-wee Herman with his bike.
Yeah.
There's no speed with me. There's just.
Hey, you can still do resistance
And you're
too.
still going to get a good workout. Now he's shifting through. You should be able to shift, and there you go. Now there's one other thing, safety-wise. You're going to say, well, can I stand up on a trainer? Yes, you can, but I recommend it with a lot of caution. You can, like you're going up a hill and stand up, you're not going to get crazy on it. You're going to spin really smooth.
Oh yeah, you're.
Because you'll feel the bike wobble.
Yeah.
It stresses the bike. It stresses the trainer a little bit. So especially if you're a larger person, 200, 250 pounder, and you want to stand up, I would give yourself a few weeks and get really used to it and stand up, pedal very smooth without all kinds of gyrations. It would make a big difference. The other thing, you're going to sweat for sure. There's no wind going past you. Put a fan on you. It works well. I use a towel. You can use a piece of cardboard. You can just sweat on your
underneath.
carpet if you want, if your wife doesn't mind or your parents. But use something to catch your sweat. It helps out a lot so it doesn't smell so bad after a while. When you're done, make sure you take the resistance off the back tire.
I always forget.
Loosen it up. Yeah, I've forgotten many times as well. You can, if you want, buy a special tire, the rubber part, the tire for the back. It's made for trainers. They don't cost a lot
Interesting.
because you're going to wear your tire out in one season in the winter, probably.
Yeah, you'll.
Then you got to buy a new tire in
Right.
the spring and you didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
And the ones that are made for it grip better to the trainer. They work better, but it's an option. Just something to let you know. And then make sure you put a little bike oil on your chain because you want to save those chains and those sprockets. Wear them out over the wintertime. It's no fun when it comes to spring and they take it in for a tune-up and they say, you need new chain and sprockets.
Yeah.
So they're expensive. Blake, what do you think?
I think we need my seat higher.
Yeah, you do. Need
Yeah,
to
you
see
do.
that. I
Yeah.
can see
And
that.
you can see,
It
look at
would
that
not
bend in
move.
that
I
knee.
can see he's
Yeah,
bow-legging even.
Yeah,
a little bit.
he's going to get a knee replacement if he
Yeah.
rides like that for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple seasons.
Yeah, well,
And
we'll
he won't
treat
be-
him.
Yeah, we'll treat you,
sure.
Mike. We'll give you a deal on the therapy.
Yeah.
Half off.
All right.
All right, that was a long video.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
Take care.
Sticking with us.